Hey, what's up guys? It's Bryce Baum, your MI40 Top Gun for 2014. I'm here to give you a suggestion that you guys can use on your pressing motions to help save your shoulders, to prevent yourself from injury. And if you have shoulder problems, hopefully if you do the correct things to get rid of that inflammation in your shoulders, to help them get better, okay? So what I want to use is I want to use a traditional bench press, something everybody's going to know, something that they've been doing for the entirety of their workout, since they've been working out and starting. I want to kind of teach you a variation that I like to do, or at least just a mindset approach that I like to take into my bench presses. And it also translates directly into all the presses you do, from flat press all the way to the top angle of military press. Okay? Now, I don't typically like to think of working through my chest when I do my flat press, okay, or any press for that matter with my chest. What I like to do is I like to think through my back, okay? And what I do is I control that bar, but I think of pulling that bar toward my body through my back, okay, until it gets to its most shortened position, with my shoulder blades being squeezed together, okay, my scapulas being squeezed together. And when that back feels like it's completely shortened, that defines my depth. That tells you that your chest is being completely stretched. It's that most stretched position, at least with a bar, okay? As you guys know, when you're in a fully stretched position with dumbbells, you also are externally rotated, so that's a different topic. But anyway, when I'm at the bottom of that press, okay, and I get fully stretched, then I fire through that press, maintaining as much tension as I can, but I think of pushing my back forward, okay, and almost a little bit of shoulder protraction at the same time, okay? You got shoulder retraction where you pulled it back, pulled your scapulas back, and I push through a shoulder protraction, okay? And that doesn't necessarily mean an arm lockout. I think of when my chest reaches its most shortened position, which is here. When those elbows are locked, okay, and those hands are together, that's a fully shortened chest, okay? But with the bar, I have the ability to put inward tension, okay, while I lengthen my back. And as soon as I feel that chest pop and tighten and shorten, then that defines my height as well, okay? If you get good enough, you'll realize you don't have to lock your elbows out and put substantial weight on the joint, okay? What the idea of working through your antagonist, your back, also does is it helps you control the momentum, the negative momentum that weight, that downward weight and gravity creates, okay? And I believe that momentum is what gives people shoulder problems, along with the fact of using too much weight and not maintaining that tension throughout the entirety of the movement, okay? So try thinking through your back, try changing it up, think opposite, think through your antagonist, okay? The antagonist idea is something that you can use and function throughout many of your lifts, okay? I use that on my arm day, okay? I think through my antagonist muscle. I love to use that on my calves as well, okay? I love thinking of when I do a calf contraction at its peak contraction and it's fully shortened. When I stretch it, okay, I'm thinking through my tibias then, all right? So that's something you guys can translate into your movements, all right? So I kind of want to give you a little bit of physical representation here, and then I want to also tell you after my set, in my 40-second break in my MI40 program on chest day, what I like to do in that downtime to help that chest recover, okay? So let's look at the bench press here. Now, you guys can define your grip by what is comfortable, okay? I would advise it being somewhere outside of shoulder width, okay? So you have some nice width where you can get good inward tension. If you're using dumbbell on your presses, okay, remember you want to keep your hands outside of your chest width, okay? So that the outward tension is pulling you toward the floor through the dumbbells, okay? You got a downward force and an outward force, okay? When you have dumbbells and you want that, that's all chest, all right? Inside of here, that's gonna be some rear delts keeping you from folding in, all right? So, I've defined my width on my bench press, okay? I'm gonna take it off the rack. I'm gonna make sure that my chest is already contracted. I have inward tension with my hands. I'm gonna pull that bar down. My posture as far as my body goes, my back is completely flat, okay? My spine is not arched. We're not powerlifters. We're not looking for the shortest motion possible. So I'm pulling that bar down through my back. It's completely tightened and shortened right there as I touch, okay? My sternum is sticking out, okay? My core is tight. And then as I press, I'm pushing forward through my back. Protraction is happening, and I'm pushing my body through the bench and shoving my hands together as hard as I can to increase intensity with the weight, okay? So maintain tension throughout the whole movement. Fire through the press, protract the shoulders, make your top contraction, and reset, all right? So chest press, it seems like a pretty basic move, but you can make it very complex, okay? When I finish my set on chest, so it's 8 reps like the MI40 program usually calls, or 10, or 20. When I get into my 40-second break, what I like to do is use a concept that Ben's introduced before called reciprocal inhibition. Now the idea with that is if I did a flat press here, I'm working in this plane, okay? Reciprocal inhibition speaks to your antagonist again. So I would usually, if I was doing chest and back on the same day, I would get up and work a back movement in the exact same plane of motion to shut that chest down, to inhibit the chest, okay? When you work a body part to its full stretch position, oftentimes it will inhibit it and shut it down. That can be a bad thing or a good thing. In this case, I want it to be a good thing because it's going to shut it down and help it recover in between sets, okay? So if I was going to work chest and back on the same day, I'd do my flat press, I would immediately go over to a bent over row, okay? I'm working that in the same motion. That's going to make my chest my agonist, or excuse me, my back my agonist, and it's going to make my chest inhibited, okay, or the antagonist, give it time to recover before I get back in the bench press. But for today's sake, I'm not working back, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm getting up from that chest press, from that bench press, and I am just working, pulling through my back and releasing. Pulling through my back and releasing. I'm constantly stretching that chest, getting it fully stretched. When I come with my hands, I'm externally rotating it, getting that chest completely stretched. And I do that for 30 to 40 seconds so that my chest doesn't get tight, okay? I'm keeping those pathways to shuttle nutrients with my intra-workout. I'm keeping those pathways open for the chest to recover. When I get to my 40-second break and it's over, I'm right back in, okay? Now, will you be exhausted? Yeah, possibly, okay? But you will be better recovered and you will allow more nutrients to get in there, more chance for hyperemia, more chance for muscular and metabolic stress, which means more muscle growth, guys, okay? So try to apply these principles to your presses, okay? You can use these for every press that you absolutely do. Think of the antagonist idea for other muscle groups you use, okay? That will help you work through the entirety of the strength curve. Remember, we're weakest at the most lengthened position and the most shortest position of all of our muscle groups, okay? So the antagonist helps you lengthen those muscles fully, okay? It's gonna make you stronger in the most stretched position in that strength curve, okay? Stay tuned for more videos. I have a lot more information to share with you guys. There'll be more coming, okay? Until then, Bryce Baum, your MI40 Top Gun 2014, checking out.